Hi there guys, welcome back to England Rugby Analyst. Right, let's talk about earthquakes. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Maybe we should talk about the England game, but that's exactly what I'm going to do. Italy posed England a completely unknown with their not creating a ruck, coming around the outsides. But man of the match wasn't Joe Launchbury, it was Dean Ryan. Okay, some of you may have seen that Dean Ryan has said a few weeks ago that England rugby players in the age groups he's talking about can't think outside of the box because they live in a bubble and it's not their fault. So he's taken them to earthquake centres to get used to disasters and dealing with real life situations that you'll never come across before. So he knows this is a problem and he picked it, and then at the weekend we saw it. England couldn't deal with a problem they hadn't seen before until the coaches got hold of them. When the coaches got hold of them, they sorted it out and they smashed Italy. So that's really the interesting point here. People getting upset. Is it against the spirit of the game? Well, that's debatable. Was it rugby? Well, yes, it's within the rules, so it's rugby. But let's go through it, okay? Here's the point. Italy's tactic was flawed, okay? Very much flawed because the solution was simple, and I picked it, I'm sure you picked it, 5 minutes in, really easy, pick and go through the middle. Scrap the game plan, in we come boys, pick and go through the middle. You're going to make ground, or Italy are going to choose to ruck, and then we play normally. It was that simple. And I'm sure we were all there shouting at our TVs, just scrap the game plan, pick and go, you'll kill them. And in the second half they did. They did other clever things as well, like making mauls, putting players into ruck, but really it was that simple. So why could the average Joe Blogs like me and you pick that, but the highly trained England rugby players could not? Well, that's what Dean Ryan's saying. Myself and Alex isn't here again today, which is a shame, but we took a group down to Twickenham to watch England train in the open training session, and they were awesome. They practiced so fast, they practiced so many different scenarios, it was amazing. So if any of those situations came up in the game, they'd be great. And then a situation came up that they hadn't trained and they were rubbish, unfortunately. Luckily, the coaches got hold of them eventually, they sorted it out, they smashed Italy. So that's really the question. Why did England take so long to react? We've got the answer. Dean Ryan picked it. They're not good at dynamic thinking. Us in the real world are, because we live in the real world. And it's been identified. I'm sure everyone will be going on these earthquake courses and military courses and all these sorts of things to sort that out. But anyway, I thought that was pretty interesting. And even in the studio, when they went up to Johnny Wilkinson, another ex-pro, he was talking, overthought it completely. Pull players in, yeah, okay, but there was no players there. Push players out, not the point, Johnny. All you have to do, get them forwards in, pick and go, sorted. So now, the other side of this is, what were Italy getting out of this? Now, was OShea really thinking he was going to win that game with this tactic? I don't know. I think he was a bit defeatist, actually. Now, this is the problem I have. Not that it was illegal, which it wasn't. Not that it was against the spirit of the game, which is, I'm fine with it, innovation. Just the fact, what's this doing for Italian rugby? They can't do this tactic again because it's so easy to play against. England didn't pick it to start with, but it is easy to play against. So they can't do it long term. So clearly it was to annoy England in this one game, and fair enough, I probably would have done it as a coach as well because it's fun, but he's trying to develop Italian rugby and this does nothing for Italian rugby, so that's the point I would make about that. And OShea has pretty much admitted this is an incredibly weak Italian team. Apart from Parise, Campagnaro I thought was class, but everyone else I thought was pretty average, and he said if they played normal rugby they would get smashed by England, so that's a bit of a damning indictment as well. Maybe you just keep that a bit quiet. Anyway, I don't know what he was trying to achieve. It was interesting. England didn't pick it early, but they smashed them in the end. Bonus point win, we move on. And that's it, really. People are getting too heated under the collar about it. It's not that complicated, really, when you look at it, but headlines and stuff, media loves it. Let's move on to the game of the weekend, which was Wales and Scotland. What a game. At half-time, I could not see Wales losing that game. They were awesome. They were physically smashing Scotland. And I thought if they played their cards right, they would walk away with this game easily. I did not see that Scottish comeback. The Scottish backs were amazing again. Finn Russell was awesome. Tommy Seymour, all the backline, Visser, Cog, cutting edge, fantastic. And Wales psychologically imploded again. Let's talk about that decision where Wyn Jones says go to the posts. Bigger Halfpenny say no. Okay, that's pretty petulant from the kickers, but the point is Wyn Jones should have said, sorry guys, I'm the captain, kick for the posts. There was some rubbish about, maybe Halfpenny wasn't confident, but Halfpenny, the best goal kicker in the world possibly, quite close to the posts, he would have been plenty confident to take that kick. So that was poor leadership from Wyn Jones, I'm afraid. Made the right decision and then wimped out of the big call to force his petulant players to take it. And there was a bit of whinging from the Welsh. There was whinging from England as well, don't get me wrong. So we saw a bit of petulance on both sides there. Their starting 15, I would still say, is as strong as any in that Six Nations. And they're potential World Cup finalists if they get it right, I think. Comment below if you think I'm overestimating Wales's players there. It's the leadership, it's this ridiculous coaching situation they've got. And I think it's another simple solution. You say to the current coaches, you've been amazing, and they've got their pick of jobs around the world, I'm sure. Go on to something new. Howley gets some head coaching experience, because he's still proving inexperience there. And get a new regime in, probably under Di Young. Maybe even swap them over. Howley to Wasps, Di Young to Wales. I could see that working. Wasps might not be too happy about it, but good for Wales. Start again, new psychology, 2 years out from the World Cup, happy days. They won't do it. I know it's like Arsene Wenger at Arsenal. Gatland will only go when he's ready to go. He can do whatever he wants. It's a bit weird. So if Wales sort out their structure, they'll be fine. Scotland are flying. However, I still think they're a little weak up front. Front row, a little light in the back row, although they played amazing. I do think it's an area England could and should target. And if they play it right, play direct, play tight when they have to, and not give away these, they're not soft tries because they're really well made, but if they can cover the Scottish backs, I think they'll be okay and win at Twickenham. We could do with Ireland losing next week as well, but if it comes down to the last week, that would be awesome, wouldn't it? Okay, loads of talking points, particularly around Italy's tactics. Please comment below what you think about those tactics, if you think I've got the right take on it, or if I'm missing something, if it was against the spirit of the game, or if this is some long-term master plan from Conor O'Shea to use this tactic regularly. I don't think so. I think it was a flash in the pan. It was interesting, almost a complete waste of time for Italy. Frustrated England, so well done for that. But bonus point England, they move on. England, Scotland next week, well not, the week after is going to be awesome. So after that game, I'll see you then.